Active coiled tubing services are designed with the reservoir in mind. Deploying a high-bandwidth fiber optic cable inside coiled tubing, or CT, Schlumberger opens up an entire spectrum of real-time measurements to improve the quality and effectiveness of downhole treatments. In addition to the technology improvements, we bring together the best qualified personnel in the world who diagnose, treat, and act in real time based on their combined knowledge and the information they get from our downhole measurements. The animation shows the active matrix stimulation process in a naturally fractured carbonate reservoir, where fluid placement and effective stimulation have proven challenging. This is a horizontal open hole completion in a carbonate reservoir, which has 4 unconnected fracture networks. Pressure, temperature, and depth correlation measurements are acquired while running in the hole. Here, Jet Blaster jetting scale removal surfaces are used to help in hole cleaning before the stimulation treatment begins. When total depth is reached, the baseline distributed temperature survey is shot. This gives us the baseline for the subsequent temperature surveys that are run after each stimulation treatment. Data from the surveys is used to optimize fluid placement. Then, the stimulation treatment begins. Acid is pumped across the horizontal open hole reservoir while the bottom hole assembly moves to the casing shoe. As expected, the acid stimulation fluid preferentially enters the sections of the reservoir that have the highest permeability. When the first stage of the acid stimulation treatment is completed, the coiled tubing is brought to TD. Then, additional distributed temperature surveys are shot. These surveys help the team identify the zone or zones that were receptive to the acid stimulation in the first stage of the stimulation treatment. Data from the first stage is reviewed on location or at the office. Using this data, a revised pump schedule for diversion and the second stimulation stage are agreed on and redesigned at the office. They are then transmitted to the well site and pumped as designed. The revised or redesigned diversion stage selectively seals the zones that have been treated. This directs the second acid stimulation treatment to the next zone or zones to successfully stimulate all the targeted intervals. When the second stimulation treatment is completed, the coiled tubing is run to TD and additional distributed temperature surveys are shot. Again, these surveys confirm diversion and identify zones that were receptive to the second stimulation treatment. The whole process is repeated and communicated to the office for treatment redesign. This process ensures effective stimulation of the entire reservoir.